Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of the Dungeon Lore series. In this series, I hope to expand upon things you might not know about Final Fantasy XIV dungeons, as well as discuss their individual stories and lore. This episode's dungeon is Hullbreaker Isle. Since the days of the 6th Astral Era, the exploits and undertakings of the infamous pirate Mistbeard sow excitement and tension into the stories of the pirate crews. Known widely as the Pirate King, Mistbeard not only was the source of much larceny and espionage, but had a braver side to him while sailing the seas. An incident involving his former crew took place, in which he and his fellows encountered a group of sirens upon the waves. After a grueling conflict, Mistbeard returned to the land with only his cabin boy, Mimidoa Nanadoa, whom we have met once before during our own tangling with the siren in Pharos Sirius. Mistbeard proclaimed that he and his crew slew the last of the sirens at the time, and although he suffered many losses, sailors began to sign up in droves for a new crew, while Mimidora in contrast retired from the legendary pirates' ranks. With this original point of notoriety, the Pirate King went on to cause many more rumours of his travels. He was thought to have stolen the Heart of Infinity from Gridania, a powerful jewel said to contain an extremely strong elemental. And most well known of all, especially among the people of Uldar, is the infiltrating of the Uldan Sultan's wedding, where the pirate was, all in all, said to make off with 55 purebred black chocobos, 200 gold ingots, a 10-pound diamond from Mericidia, coins minted in the Allagan Empire, several ships from Uldar's own port, and the maidenhood of the young bride of the Sultan himself. These rumours held enough weight that many debate that the current Sultana, Nanamo or Namo, bears a likeness to the then captain. In the current times, the legendary pirate has not been seen personally by any credible source, and is thought to have been killed or had died at sea. His legacy lives on, however, through the names of places and through his apparent personal effects. Mistbeard Cove, located in the depths of Sestasha, leaves its mark as a potential hideout for the captain, and Merwib Blefiswin carries the twin pistols once owned by the Pirate King himself. The Warrior of Light visits the Seventh Heaven in Mordona, where they once again speak with Blozol. He tells us that he has a message for us, requesting a meeting, but the client in question is confidential information. He sends us to speak with Denston and Limsa, a middleman for the client and Blozol. Denston delves straight into business, telling us of the legendary pirate Mistbeard, famous among all the Minsons wishing to brave the seas as a pirate. Mistbeard, as we know, once ruled the seas, until his sudden disappearance while out on the Rotano Sea. Since his disappearance, the rumours of treasure spread far and wide, and Denston tells us that the job in question pertains to this treasure. At this moment, a man takes over for Denston, Ainzar Saflirsin, the Grand Storm Marshal of the Maelstrom. He stresses to us that his request comes for personal reasons and not to do with his job as Marshal. He then speaks of the renewal of excitement over Mistbeard's riches, and describes the islands of the Rotano Sea, the Seal Delaeus. Around the edge of these remote islands, one particular patch of ocean is where sailors refuse to travel, as the area is constantly shrouded in a heavy mist. But either by accident or ill intent, many vessels have lost their way and crashed upon the island hidden in the mist. And so, the tale of the dreaded Hullbreaker Isle was born. However, in the wake of, and perhaps due to the calamity, the mist began to lift around the isle, and after a while, a merchant vessel happened upon it by chance, able to navigate its rocky exterior thanks to the now clear view. This ship and its crew made an incredible discovery as it approached the isle, the wrecked ship of Mistbeard himself, the Har. Although this was an immense find for the crew, the captain of the ship forbade his crew from recounting the tale, but rumours eventually spread, and treasure hunters began to make preparations to raid the isle to claim the cache for their own. Ainzar therefore requests that we reach the place before anyone else can, to retrieve a golden coffer bearing the Pirate King's crest. He then stresses the importance of the mission, claiming it to be vital to the nation's future. Denston instructs us to meet with him at Moribi Bay, where he has a ship moored, ready to make the journey to the island. He tells us once more to search for the golden coffer at Ainzar's behest, and to regroup in Limsa once more upon our return, as we sail towards the now revealed island. As we land upon the isle, we can see that some structures have already been placed along the shore. A small pier and a tall curved structure, perhaps a form of shelter long ago. As the island is vastly unexplored to many current sailors, there is not much presence in terms of troops, so the enemy's fort and many of the beasts calling the island home. We proceed up the hill, passing a lookout bridge and a lit lantern, until we reach a large bridge. On the far side, we catch a glimpse of a large ape-like creature, which prevents us from passing until the Sephartas upon the bridge are defeated. It then retreats to the runner's reel, a circular clearing with many banana trees lining the edge. Here we can see many more older structures, these much more indicative of sailors if not pirates, that once inhabited the Shrouded Isle. The large structure on the left displays torn rigging and what appears to be a banner representing Miss Beard's crew, and the same banner can be seen on the right-hand building also. Focusing back on the ape, we can now see that it is actually a Sasquatch, a legendary creature said to dwell in forests and jungles, and this creature attacks the party. During the fight, the Sasquatch will often beat its chest and roar, damaging the party and causing them to take more damage with each roar. To prevent this, the party can hit the nearby banana trees to have them drop a banana, which the Sasquatch will then focus on and eat. While this stops the onslaught, the Sasquatch becomes more dangerous with each banana it eats. While beating its chest, several of the smaller Sefaka will appear and attack the party. Finally, the Sasquatch pelts its stool at the party members in large areas, damaging any caught in the muck. Upon defeat, the party can proceed into the cave area of the isle. Light pours through the ceiling here, and we encounter many more snake and insect-like enemies. To proceed through to the end of the cave, the party must recover 3 stone tablets located throughout the area. We find these tablets by defeating enemies, however there are many treasure chests within these caves that transform into mimics when touched. Heading through the first stone door, we come across a small stream and some large nanka, which produce their spawn when engaged. Defeating the mimic in the side room, we collect the second tablet and proceed downstream to another bridge, where yet another mimic holds the final tablet. Using our tablets to open the stone door, we find our way into the hidden cache. An abyss worm awaits us here, known as Shorm. During the fight, the worm uses many water-based attacks on the party, launching jets of water and placing puddles underneath individual members. The worm will summon a handful of bubbles when injured, and will bury itself in the center of the arena. Shorm will either begin to cast its whirlpool, dealing constant damage to the party, after which it will pull party members close and burst from the floor, or elect to use its burrow instead, chasing a party member and again breaching the floor and heavily damaging party members nearby. The party can utilize the bubbles produced by the worm to avoid the damage and effects of whirlpool, by voluntarily trapping themselves inside while the spell is in effect. When the worm is slain, we can proceed through the other exit of the cave and out onto a high cliff, where we catch a glimpse of the wreck of the Har, even appearing in reasonably salvageable condition. Falling from the cliff to the shoals, we begin tackling more water-based enemies, along with several flying Harpea. To proceed across the shallow sands, we must defeat the seawater sprites causing the jets of water to flow forth, and make our way towards the shipwreck. We tackle more crabs and water gliders, and handle a final set of sprites, before finally reaching the wreckage of the legendary ship, along with a much more deadly foe. The weather begins to turn and the rain sets in, and from the depths of the shore emerges the Kraken, an enormous, legendary squid-like monster set to drag ships to the depths. During this fight, the Kraken will have many of its tentacles active at once, requiring the party to handle them as best they can. A key aspect of this fight is the water spouts, useful for jetting over to a distant platform. The arms of the Kraken occasionally swipe at the platforms or otherwise shoot jets of ink at party members. The main tentacle of the beast will intermittently crash upon a party member, stunning them, and the tentacle will proceed to grasp the member in question and toss them across the platforms. Finally, the most deadly attack of the Kraken involves designating a party member with a small watery typhoon. This typhoon will spin in place, but after a few seconds will explode with great force, greatly damaging any party members stood on the platform holding the typhoon. Once the party manages to tackle every tentacle the Kraken has to offer, the beast is defeated and it retreats to the depths, as the clear sky returns to the Isle once more. After this, we return to Denston in Limsa with the golden coffer in tow, and after presenting it to him, Ainzar reappears once again. Our curiosity piqued, the coffer is opened, revealing a mask, the very same that the pirate Mistbeard is said to have worn on his travels. Ainzar, however, reveals to us that the pirate Mistbeard was not merely one man, but many who carried the name and the mask, continuing the legend of the Pirate King. He tells us that the previous Mistbeard found a new calling, that of a woman's dream of a brighter future for all Laminsans, one without the call of piracy. As while the pirate's flag sails among many a ship of the Laminsan territory, the city-state cannot thrive if the citizens were to continue its plundering and looting ways. And upon hearing these words, Ainzar, presumed to be the last Mistbeard, hung up the mask and the title to make Moab's dream a reality. Finally, he informs us that while the mask represents a way of life no longer viable for that of the up-and-coming Laminsan, it still holds a mighty sway over any seeking to rekindle the legend of the Pirate King. He then tells Denston to take the mask and hide it away or otherwise destroy it, as so to end the tale of the legendary pirate Mistbeard, and in time, the sway of the pirate's lifestyle once and for all. And that's the end of the story and lore of Hullbreaker Isle. An island shrouded in a deep fog, and a pirate shrouded in mystery. The secrets of both revealed almost simultaneously, thanks to the intervening of the final man to claim the title of Pirate King. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy XIV lore, and I'll see you next time for the hard mode version of the Tam Tara Deepcroft.